off the negative energy. And so a little bit of backstory for you guys listening. There was an incident with a guest who did not like that I told him to be quiet during the show and like blew up and walked out. And I was just kind of standing in the doorway with Dwayne. We were both kind of trying to talk to this guy, and his buddy was sitting next to him. And I don't know if it was like the look on my face or the way I was standing or what I was doing, but you noticed
Yes.
that I was probably ready to hit this guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so you told me to walk away.
Yeah, I was like,
You're like,
Eric,
just
I need you to walk away.
Just go away for a second. And I was like, all right, fine.
Yeah.
And I did. So like,
I forgot about that till right now.
So in that instance, you picked up on me being ready to physically hurt a person.
Yeah.
And you were like, no, you can't go.
And you having the like mental capacity to recognize that you needed to walk away too was really important, I think.
Because I don't ever get, like, I never am like, let's fucking go. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not that guy.
Yeah, no.
You know, like, I mean, not to say that I don't have a bad temper, but because that just kind of runs in my family. But I try to keep it under wraps.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I try to just...
You're a person of composure, for sure.
Yeah, I definitely try to keep my composure, especially in a situation where I'm in a position of authority and we're trying to run a comedy show and we're trying to do all these things.
Yeah.
I can't be getting in fist fights with everybody.
No.
You know what I mean? There's been a lot of people that I wanted to smack the shit out of that I'm just not gonna, because I'm just not that guy.
Right.
You know, but in that moment, I recognized that I was way more heated than I should have been, because I can deal with somebody being rude. I can deal with that. I don't like being yelled at.
Right.
So if you're going to get in my face for no reason, then like, I mentioned at the top of the program that I'm in a weird frame of mind, right? After this last weekend. And I've kind of been in a weird frame of mind for a while. Like, I'm trying to work it out and get it figured out. But like, at any given moment, I am ready to haul off and punch somebody in the face. So like, I try to tamp that down.
Yeah.
Because nobody wants angry, fucking intense Eric walking around. Like, I feel like people have come to expect a certain experience when they interact with me. You know what I mean? Like,
I think that's accurate.
Yeah, so in that moment, I was the one who was unapproachable. When normally I feel like I'm a generally pretty approachable person.
Right.
Even though I fucking hate people. Like, But yeah, no, that I just thought that was an interesting shift in our dynamic. Our dynamic, exactly.
Yeah.
Because usually you would be the one. But not that like you're a violent person anyway, but like you command a certain you radiate authenticity for lack of a better term, because of your intensity behind the bar and the fact that like you don't suffer fools easily. You know what I mean? So like, and that comes across.
I need this drink. Ring it the fuck in.
Yeah.
Like, I got 20 tickets here. It's not their fault that you're an asshole and rung it in wrong.
Exactly. But no, it was
you
interesting.
made it wrong. No, I fucking didn't.
No.
I don't make mistakes.
No. I'm perfect all the time.
Obviously, that's not true.
I'm the most perfect bartender who's ever bartended. Nobody's ever been better than me, bro.
That's not true.
Check out my dreads. I'm cool as fuck. I don't know why I threw that one in there. But yeah, no, that was just an interesting switch, because I hadn't been that angry in a long time that I was like, I was going to get into a fight with him.
No, yeah.
At my job.
You were like, I felt it too. Like, it was decent as we were walking him down towards the stairs. We get to the bottom of the stairs, and it was like, because he was just like, and he, not only was he yelling, but he was saying crude things.
Yeah. And like his buddy, I don't know what I did. Like, I don't know what happened, because I was literally just standing there. I had my hands folded in front of me, just standing there, right? I wasn't making a lot of crazy movements or anything like that. And his buddy looks at me and goes, "There's no reason to get physical." And I was like, I'm standing still.
Yeah.
I'm not getting physical. I'm just standing here trying to have my bartender's back, because your buddy, and that's when you were like, just walk away. Just walk away.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I was going to tear them both a new asshole verbally. Then I was going to kick that guy's ass.
I'm thinking.
Number 7.
So coming up on our last one.
Yes.
Let's do a real quick recap of the first 6. Okay.
Okay. We had
commitment
to values,
investing in personal development,
radiate authenticity,
skillful communicators,
encouraging unity, approachable and inclusive.
Absolutely. So this brings us to the last characteristic of
embrace vulnerability and risk. Which I think you have to take some risks if you're going to be an effective leader, I think.
Absolutely. And I think that a lot of the previously stated topics are about like cultivating one's ability to be vulnerable too.
Sure. Yeah.
Because
absolutely.
like some opinion, not I mean this is just me and my thoughts on this, but like to be a skillful communicator, you have to say some things that like make me want to listen to you.
Yeah.
And if it's all just air and fluff, I don't want to listen to you.
Yeah, you got to be relatable.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, why are you giving me advice at all if you can't relate to what it is I'm telling you?
Right. And then same thing with the being approachable and inclusive. Like I think one of the things that makes people approachable is like they have this thing about them that said like you pick up on that like says they're gonna be real with me.
Yeah.
They're not what you get is what you see.
Yeah.
What you see is what you get. The radiating authenticity.
Yeah. You couldn't even say that without almost throwing up just now. That was the look on your face just now. I was like, radiate.
Yeah, I don't know. I got to set aside some of my preconceived ideas, man.
Yeah. No, I think to be a leader, you have to be, you have to be able to do those things. Or, I mean, just to even be a person.
Right.
You got to be, because I know, I'm like, men traditionally are raised not to show vulnerability
they
or
have been,
weakness.
For sure.
And I think that's silly, but it's also something that I struggle with on an almost daily basis, like especially in, interpersonal relationships where, like why didn't you tell me? Because I didn't want to bother you. I didn't want to seem like I'm fucking sad or like whatever. You know what I mean? Because we're not supposed to be. We're supposed to be strong and fucking we can do anything and this doesn't matter. And
you and I and people of our generation and younger can squash that mentality right now.
I absolutely try, and I try to do that with my son. And, I let him know that it's okay to be sad. It's okay to cry. If you're having a problem, you can talk to me about it. Where, let's open up the lines of communication and things like that. But then there are certain situations where I feel like it's either it's too soon for me to like show this much vulnerability, because then
you mean with somebody that you're in an interpersonal relationship with?
Yeah, well, if like
or just generally,
like in general, or like if you're if you're trying for like a romantic type of a thing, I feel like you can't show too much vulnerability right up front, because you're trying to create this image of yourself that's like.
When did you decide that?
What do you mean?
Like, at what point did you decide that some point is too soon to be vulnerable?
I don't know. I think it's just something I've always kind of, but it's something that I'm working on, and like, because like I don't, at this point in my life, like I'm on the other side of 35. You know what I mean? Like this year I officially enter my late 30s. You know what I mean? I have a son. Like I don't have enough time to pretend anymore.
Yeah,
these days.
Project this image that you want others to
exactly.
see.
But at the same time, there's still a little part of me that's like, well, I want her to think I'm cool for just a little while longer.
Is that a defense mechanism, or is
probably.
it like a weird shield?
Probably. I'd say so.
You know what? Like, have you heard the term building the wall around yourself to protect you from others.
I have.
The thing that's interesting about this wall that we've built up around ourselves to protect us from others is that it also keeps them from being able to enter into our area.
Right. Well, I don't know that I put up a wall necessarily, but like, so I feel like most comedians, maybe not all, but a lot of like creative people, artists, if you will, if I'm allowed to be pretentious,
please,
and call myself an artist.
You are.
Like I get
Picasso of comedians.
Well, like I get up on stage.
Modest.
And think about goofy shit so that a room full of strangers will like me.
Yeah.
That's essentially what I'm doing.
But that's a risk too.
Well, yeah, I'm absolutely taking a risk, but so, like it's been said over and over again, and I think maybe the only person who doesn't feel this way is like Jerry Seinfeld and maybe a couple other people, but like none of us get into comedy because we're well-adjusted people who are okay with everything that's going, you know what I mean? Like, we're not all, that's why a lot of comedians kill themselves, because we're not all happy-go-lucky people, but we're able to make you laugh because we need that from you. Like, I know that if I can make you laugh, then I've got you on my side. The only people I've ever had real problems with in my life are people who didn't think I was funny.
Huh.
People who just didn't, like I had a boss when I was younger who did not think I was funny at all, and I did not have a good time at that job.
Like younger on the other side of 35?
Yes. Yeah. Like on the early side of 20. Yeah, like, so, the only issues I've ever had with people are people who don't think that I'm funny. Those are the only ones that I can't fucking, I'm like, all right, well, I got nothing then.
I'm gonna say something that might be a little controversial.
Sure. Ritz crackers are for poor people.
What?
I don't know. Did something controversial.
That is.
But they're not, though, because they're the champagne of crackers. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Anyways,
I'm not being serious.
Carrying on.
Yes, please.
Like, I think that you can be really, really funny.
Thanks.
But there are sometimes, I've expressed this to you too, I think.
Yeah, where I go overboard.
I
where it's
want
too
you
much.
to turn it off for a little while.
Yeah.
Like, some of the best conversations that we've ever had were not intentionally funny.
Yeah.
And some serious, like, things of depth.
Right.
And it's not to say that I don't want you to be funny or that, like, you should be less funny, because I think that's ridiculous. But
no, but I get it, because I do have the tendency to, especially if an idea catches my attention,
or if somebody hands you a loaded gun.
Yeah, like it's just I can't always help myself, because I'm just like if things get too real or too serious or too heavy, like I have to break the tension somehow,
right?
And I can't always help myself. So, and I feel like if you go back to episode 1 and till now, I think I've made some progress.
Oh, absolutely.
Maybe not so much on this episode, because again, I'm in a weird mind state, and we don't have a guest for me to like.
I want you
to counteract my energy.
I want to do something just for experiment's sake. If you're listening to this and you can comment from the website, comment on the episodes that you've watched and how many times listen to. Comment on the podcasts that you have listened to, and tell us how many times you've heard Eric say, I'm in a real weird mood tonight.
If I had $1 for every time I said it, I'd be able to fucking fund this whole operation.
You would definitely had at least $24.
Yeah, absolutely. Sure. Because that's why I mentioned, if anybody's out there giving free therapy, holler at your boy, because obviously I need it.
Yeah, actually, I think we're getting real close on time.
Yeah.
And we have reached the last one.
Yes.
Thank you for your willingness to be vulnerable with me on the podcast.
Yeah.
And
you're welcome. It's not easy.
No.
This is one of the most difficult things I've done.
I've enjoyed it so much.
These fucking 24 episodes. Like, it's been one of the most difficult things for me to do.
Do you feel like you're growing every time, though?
A little bit. But
Like, okay, so let's say episode